Hello, Janet. Hello, Janet. Hello, Jeffrey. Ron. Not many people. I turned it on early. Not many people. That's okay, guys, because
it's Friday night.
I'm going to say the pledge, and I'm going to play the music. Got a lot of stuff. Don't know how much I'm going to get to. But before we go to the pledge and before we go to the music, I'm going to wait until a few more people get here. When I come back, I have a special prayer I have to say. So let's get that done. As far as the kids go tonight, it's not really going to be a kids section. And I'm going to say right now, this video is not meant for kids. You can watch it under the discretions of your parents, grandparents, or legal guardians. But I would prefer tonight the parents, grandparents, and legal guardians do not let the children watch the show. That's my opinion. I am distraught. I'm disappointed. I'm upset. Not at what's going on, what's happening. And we'll get to that when I get back. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Another walk.
And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt as long as they, God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave their right to me, and I'm ready to stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. Next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Hello again, everyone. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. I am. As I was saying before I went, it's going to be a very short kids section tonight. I have some things I want to say, but I have a lot of information. Not information as hearsay. Bills and laws and that being passed to prove it. IRS. Remember that. Remember them three letters. IRS. But give me a second here.
They only ended up getting one. But that 4,000.
So, I want everybody to bow their head, quit talking as I say a prayer. I usually don't say anything, Karen and Janet and Kevin, Johnny Holiday. It's your discretion if you want to listen to the prayer, but this is for a family member. Anyone who's on our Telegram site, understand we have a young man, 19 years old, fighting for his life. And it's not looking good. So I want prayers from everyone for this family of Renee, her oldest son, who was in a car accident hit by illegals. So for all you people, not here, but for the people who may watch this, the rats, you know what I'm talking about, from a Democratic organization. For you people that thinks it's okay to have them here, go tell the family that this young man is fighting for his life, that it's okay. For the hospital that is begging for them to do something, no. For everybody who knows about these special beds, let's get them in here. Maybe that's the one way this young man can live to be 100 or 200 or 300 years old. The sadness, the pain and sorrow I feel for this family after just starting to get back on track from losing their beautiful mom, Renee, and now they're going through this with a 19-year-old boy, a boy that was willing to quit school so he could help dad take care of the younger kids. A boy that was full of life, a man, not a boy, that had his whole life ahead of him, a very, very handsome young man. And Lord, as we come here tonight, we ask you to look after Renee, her husband, and their family, to look after this young man and grant him and their family a wish of letting him survive. Miracles happen all the time, Lord, and I know this young man needs a miracle, something fierce, and we're coming to you tonight with our hearts full of grief and sorrow and sadness to ask you to grant this young man the opportunity to not only see 20, but 21 and many, many more years, to show you that he's a patriot, the same as all of us here, to show you he's part of our family. See, Lord, when one of our family members hurt, when one of our families hurt, we all hurt. And we come to you tonight with everything we have, all the love, all the joy, all the happiness, and all the sorrow that's built up in each and every one of us right now, to ask you to pray and put an angel, two angels, whatever it takes to bring this young man back to where he can live a happy life. We come to you, talk to you, and pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Before I went to say the pledge, before I went to do the music, of which we have no legal rights to it, we play the music because it's kind of our theme song. But with all this being said, the children, you can watch it under supervision of your parents, grandparents, or legal guardians. But I'm a very disappointed, very upset, very sad Patriot 5 tonight. And I can't promise you that my talk is going to be like it normally is. There may be some things in there that brings out the old factory worker in me. And it's funny, not funny, haha, but it's funny I say that about bringing out the old factory worker in me. Because I can remember when I was a young man of 19 years old and I got a job at the factory, Gould National Battery, where we made the batteries for all of the backup sources that needed them, hospitals, major places that needed backup power. We made the batteries for the United States Navy for their submarines. And I remember getting ready to go to work on my first day, and my mom looked at me and said, "Hey, be careful what you say. Remember, you're going to be working with ladies." It did not take me long, Karen. It did not take me long, Janet, Jeffrey, and Kevin, Joe Phillips. Did not take me long to understand these women. They weren't real women. I went home the first night and my head was spinning. My mom said, "How was your first day of work?" I said, "I did what you told me, Mom." She said, "What?" I said, "I was very respectful." But Mom, I said, "Can I ask you and Dad some questions?" "You can ask us anything," one voice she told me. Pasquale Rampone must be new. My mom told me I could ask her anything. And I said, "Can you explain to me what this term means? Can you explain to me what this term means?" And she said, "Ralphie, you don't talk like that to your mom and dad." I said, "Hey, you told me to be respectful, and I can't be respectful to someone if I don't know what they're saying to me, because these were the pottiest mouth women I've ever heard in my life." And I got to where I started talking just like them. It was just everyday talk, guys. Every day we talk like that. But the minute I walked out of that factory, the minute I walked out of that gate, the work stayed there and all the cuss words sat there. My kids told me one day, "I don't ever remember you cussing around us." I said, "Because I didn't, because when I left work, it was there." I see people nowadays, Janet and Joe, Tony, I see people nowadays, people I care for, all they want to talk about is work. I had a birthday party the other night to attend for the little monkey, little small gymnast. Virginia, I had that to attend to, and Joe Phillips and Johnny, Tony. And I hear two people standing over there. All they was talking about for the first half an hour was work, was work, was work. And finally someone said, "Hey, could we leave work where it's supposed to be and celebrate the birthday of this little girl?"
You
And
must have said that.
Huh?
You must
Ron says I must have said it, but I actually didn't, because I wouldn't have said it that nice. I fought back. I walked outside a couple times just to cool myself down. But I'm trying to tell the parents, grandparents, and legal guardians, I may throw a couple of factory workers' words in there. And I don't want the kids to hear it. So the kids' version tonight is every kid here, please say a prayer for Jimmy. Super Jimmy, say a prayer for him because he needs it, because his big brother is in really, really bad shape. Before I go on with what I want to say, and that concludes tonight's version of the kids, I've already told you my feelings. I've already told you about we have no legal rights to the music. We play it for entertainment purposes. But guys, I want to tell you something. Everything is out there. Virginia, have you ever heard a phrase and you wonder what it really means? What really is behind a certain phrase? What about you, Kevin and Janet and Maria? With the results of gematria, and for those who don't know what gematria is, it's a way of putting things we say and finding out what the real terms of it is. It's a way that the hat and the upper people can talk, and all we have to do is go and check it out. So all you have to do is go to Google, type in gematria, a thing will come up. It'll ask you to put a phrase in there. You'll do it, and it'll give you different meanings. I don't hide the fact that I'm a Chicago White Sox baseball fan. I love baseball, even though I think it's just like every sport. I think the hat 45-47 is going to clean it up. But right now, I'm just not sure if it's cleaned up. But we have a new ball player on the Chicago White Sox. He's a Japanese star. He's a stud. And today I read an article and it says, this man, we call him Mooney because you can't pronounce his last name really. The article read, so far this year, he has 14 homers. He has 14 singles.
He might have 15. No, we don't know.
And as Ron said, he might have 15 because they scored a run in the first inning, and we don't know how he got it. He has 14 homers, 14 singles. He has 28 RBIs, and he has 28 walks. So I took 14 homers, 14 singles, 28 walks, 28 RBIs, and I did the geometry on it. Now, I did the 14-1-4, the 28-2-8, so you get nothing there in gematria. It's just the words. And it came out to 277. Now, what do you think from a Japanese baseball player that phrase could mean? Well, the very first thing, listen to this, guys, because it's the best one I've seen in all the gematrias I've ever did, the very first one. And I'm not going to read a lot of them, just a few of the important ones. But the very first one says quantum financial system. Was it put up there for a reason? Did this happen for a reason? Did God give us a clue for this? Quantum financial system, coming from a Japanese superstar baseball player. The next one says, my best friend and true love. Clicking here will shock you. Ponder your fallen master. But naturally, when I'm trying to go up, I lose it. Let's see what else they got here. Learn how to code correctly. No, babe, I want to marry you. We all have a purpose. Angel SS. Decode, I shall destroy Lucifer. Big banks, shorts, galaxy digital. How I am connected in all of this. I like this one. Innocent child rapes in today. You talk a lot of bullshit. This was to be our turn, Ace. Now, you know, I don't care. After I read the very first one, quantum financial system, that's all I needed to know that we are where we need to be, and we're going to get there, and we're going to end this very soon. But I wanted to share that with you because I thought it was important enough to share. I want to thank Robert Ford. Robert's our foreign diplomat here. Thank you, Virginia, for the prayer. Robert sent me a couple of videos. One of them was Bobby Darin singing a very, very beautiful song. And the other one was Elvis when he was really, really fat, singing How Great Thou Art. And if you guys have never heard Elvis Presley sing How Great Thou Art, you got to listen to it. It is a treat. One voice, Carrie, Maria. Robert writes me a lot. We've become very good friends. Not only Robert, but Robert and Ron have become very good friends. We are family here, and that's why we're hurting so much with this news about this amazing young boy who's fighting for his life. No one knows why things happen, but you know what? Here's a young boy fighting for his life. But would he be fighting for it if they would release 45, 47, it's time to do something. Don't you think it's time to get off the pot? You've been on the pot so long, you must have raging hemorrhoids or something, because no one can stay on it as long as you are. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of listening to you. Huh? Yes, I'm sick and tired of listening to you. I'm smarter than all these people. I watched a video last night, and this man says that he's 10 moves ahead. What is he 10 moves ahead of? Because if you're 10 moves ahead, why are we still not across the finish line? Last night, I'm not going to cover a lot of it, but Bruce did say some things last night that we could expect 800 numbers over the weekend, that's every week for Bruce, guys.
But everybody else is saying
it. I'm going to cover something someone said last night because I have information on this. This isn't coming. I think it was Savior sent me a video to watch last night and said start at the 22-minute mark, and I did. And they were talking about this amazing thing, and I'm going to get into that. But then they talked about the beds and how they're ready. And they talked about other things and how they're ready. Well, if they're ready, Larry Smith, if they're ready, why aren't we getting it done? It's time to get it done. But I also found another gematria. And this kind of has something to do with 45, 47, the hat, or however you want to call him. But the phrase is Department Q, which is 133. 133 is winning plan, King of Hearts. God bless America. God bless Donald. A day approaches, facing end of days. All eyes, spelled EYEZ, on me. Very soon, everything, Ripple Moon, Soul Family, Julian Assange, George Magazine, Love is in the Air, Speak True Q, The Way of Peace, 133. Now, when I read this, the way I'm reading tonight, these gematries, I can remember we used to do a show, and we had a lady on here from Canada that every day she was taking 2 or 3 phrases, and we had a great segment. And that was one of the times I enjoyed doing the shows as much as I've ever did, because interaction from you guys actually going out, that was her one thing. And then all of a sudden everything blew up and people started getting on her. And I do apologize that she's gone. I wish she was still with us. I miss her little daughter, Lynn and Jeffrey and Larry and Janet and Carrie, Tony, Gary Sands. Yes. And One Voice. But things are out there. Things are moving how we want them to move. I don't want to read that. This is something, guys, you might want to listen. You might have already seen it. The Supreme Court has just sealed a ruling that abolishes income tax. The money they took from you for 113 years was used to suppress every cure that could have saved your family. No reformed, not reduced, not reformed, not reduced, abolished. Case number 24-1791, filed under seal, decided 7-2, no dissent published, no media briefing, no public docket entry. The only reason anyone knows it exists is because a clerk, 26 years old, 3 months on the job, accidentally uploaded the ruling to the public pacer system for 9 minutes before it was pulled. 9 minutes, 14,000 downloads before the file vanished. The clerk was placed on administrative leave. The file was scrubbed from every server, but 14,000 people have it, and the blockchain does not forget. The ruling is 94 pages. The core finding, the 16th Amendment, the amendment that was authorized federal income tax in 1913, was never legally ratified. Not technicality, the court found that 4 of the 36 states that allegedly ratified the amendment submitted documents with material alterations to the text, different punctuation that changed legal meaning, different wording that modified scope under Article 5 of the Constitution. The ratification is void. The IRS has been collecting taxes under the amendment that does not legally exist for 113 years. Every dollar, every April 15th, every audit, every lien, every garnished wage, every seized home, all of it based on an amendment that 7 Supreme Court justices just declared was never law. Where did this money go? 4.7 trillion per year, not to roads, not to schools, to a system designed to keep you dependent on pharmaceutical drugs that manage systems while the cures were buried. Royal Rive's frequency machine destroyed by the AMA in 1939, funded by your tax dollars. The NIH spent $41 billion last year. 0 went to frequency healing. 0 went to bioelectric medicine. 0 went to the therapies that actually reverse disease at a cellular level. Your taxes funded the FDA raids on our natural health practitioners. Your taxes paid for the lobbying that made it illegal to say a plant can cure cancer. Your taxes built the system that put doctors in prison for healing people without drugs. Every paycheck they took from you funded the suppression of the medicine that could have saved someone you love. The transition plan outlined in pages 71 through 89 of the ruling describes a replacement revenue system, no income tax, no payroll tax, a flat consumption tax, exempting food, medicine, housing, and education. The average family tax burden drops from 37% to 14%. The court gave the executive branch 180 days to prepare. That clock started 97 days ago. 83 days remain. When the seal lifts, the IRS dissolves, the $4.7 trillion per year stops flowing into machine that suppressed every cure you were never allowed to access. The money stays in your paycheck, and the medical technologies, they buried frequencies, devices, bioelectric therapy, regenerative medicine, lost the funding mechanism that kept them hidden. The cures were never lost. They were defunded, and the system that defunded them just got abolished. 83 days until you feel in your paycheck and your health. This comes from Special Beds, MEDBEDS Technology News. This not only comes from that, but last night I was telling you, the Patriot Savior sent me a video. She said, Ralph, you need to watch this. I said, okay. Start at the 22-minute mark. I did. I didn't get to bed until 4 o'clock in the morning because I was so enamored by it. I went back and I watched it again. It's a great video. Then I come today online and I find this. And that's what it's about. It's about we're finally getting to a point we're going to get our freedom. We're finally getting to our point where we're going to get our money. And I've told you, I've told you with what is about to happen. What is about to happen, we are going to be put in a situation where everybody will have money. We are going to get put in a situation where it's going to come to a point, money is going to be of no value. Nita and Jeffrey and Larry and Janet, Joe, Tony, Vicky, we're going to get to a point where you're going to go into a grocery store. You're going to take your cart and you're going to fill your carts up. And then boom, you're going to walk you up. They're going to put your stuff in bags and they're going to say, have a good day, Nita. Have a good day, Jeffrey. There will be no money. Money will become worthless. Will it be soon? No. I don't see that happening for at least 25 to 50 years. But with these special beds, we're going to be around a long, long time. When you pray for this young man that's the brother of Super Jimmy, when you pray for him, also pray for the release of these beds. These beds work. I was talking to someone the other day, and I explained to them these beds, and they said, my goodness, I could keep doing what I want to do for the next 100 years. I could live to be 200, 300, 400 years old. I said, or older. Because what you have to remember, Kevin, what you have to remember, Janet, Jeffrey, is when me and Ron got involved in this, when we first heard about these beds, we heard about it from someone named Jared Rand. And when we heard about it from Jared Rand, he was saying, when we get to the one point in the bed, when we get to the point that we want to age regress, we can age regress 20 to 25 years. Now it has an 80-year-old man, a 90-year-old man or woman can go back to where they feel like they're 30. I was talking to this girl the other day and I said, can you imagine that? She said, this sounds almost too good to be true. And I sang the song to him, this is too good to be true. I'm not going to tell him I can't take my eyes off you, but it's what it is, guys. Another song, nothing's going to stop us now. Yes, 45, 47, DJT, the hat, whatever we want to call this man, he's going to put us where we need to be. But what is sad is these people, and this is the point coming up, guys. I said this video is not made for children. Even if the parents and godparents and legal guardians say it is, the grandparents, because I might just step out of bounds here. Because these people, and you all know who they are, if he stays president, I'm leaving. I seen a girl on Facebook today. She had a t-shirt on. I hate America. I hate the president. I hate the people. What would you do? What would you say if you seen someone wearing a shirt like that, Joe Phillips? I would go up and I tell him to get the hell out of my country. My country, where men fight, where women fight to keep our country free. And I will always, forever, as long as I can walk and I can talk and I can breathe, I will stick up for my country. And I mentioned a gentleman a little bit ago who's from another country, Robert. And I hope he feels the same way. But I hope he also feels the same way about our country, because I truthfully believe the United States will rule the world, not because they're dominant. I just believe that the United States is going to become so amazing that everybody will want to be part of the United States of America, where at least we know we're free. How many times, Carrie? How many times, Joseph and Kevin, Michael James, Larry Smith, how many times a day do you hum that song, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free? Michael, you say, what are the bets coming out before we die? Do you mean the beds? I truthfully believe they're going to be before the 4th of July. And I'm not here with hopium. I'm not here with hopium because I'm not going to blow smoke up on anybody's rear ends. But this is my personal belief. Do I have any proof? Nope. Have I talked to people that's seen the beds? I've talked to people who's been trained on the beds. The money, do I know anything about the money? Banks are getting really squirrely, guys. The bank that I banked in since 1982. The bank that I banked in since 1982, it's not the State Bank of Herscher no more. It's got another name. Can you believe it? This bank has just been a little farming community bank, but you know, they had to reach certain things and they weren't willing to do it. So this bigger bank came in. I've seen it firsthand. They still call it the State Bank of Herscher, but it's under another name also. And if people don't like it, they'll just go the other direction. Larry Smith. Larry Smith says in this video, because evidently he's watched it. But in this video, Larry says, Kevin, did you catch the part about only needing about a gallon of fuel to start an aircraft engine? Then it turns into water, not fuel. I caught that. And also, as Larry is saying, and I wanted to talk about this, so thank you for interacting and making my show easier, not having to look. Also, they also say in it that airfare is probably going to go down when all this happens to $17 to fly any place you want, right? Someone just put that. Yeah. Kevin says, Larry, yeah. Man, $17 flights. The gas, you know, the way they're talking about the fuel. But now Larry and whoever else is talking over here, there was one more thing that I want to make sure I get right, and I think you guys can help me. In that, they also said something about the airline that was closed down. It was Spirit Airline, correct? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it Spirit Airline?
What's a hot dog going to cost at a baseball game?
Yes, okay. It was Spirit Airline. But then they also say in there, they'll bring it back. It'll come back because it's an established airline. But they think it's going to come back as Spirit of America Airline, where at least we know we're free. My son, he is up in arms, guys. He is pissed. He's going to Jamaica in October. He had everything booked. He has a 3-year-old. She has to be in a car seat on the plane. So she has to have a window seat. He paid extra money to make sure he got that. And he gets a message the other day because of the movement around of the airlines. Thank you, Larry. Because of the movement around of the airlines, they have to change some things. And he goes, well, why don't you give us first class or business class? She has to have, well, we could do this and this and this. Now he had paid extra money to have a straight through flight there and a straight through flight. Now his airline has him a 5-hour layover in Atlanta. Whoa. 5 hours with a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old. That's coming back. That's when they're tired of being on a 8, 9, 10-day vacation. But it's all going to get, but see, there's a song out by the Monkees, Daydream Believer. But see, my son, people like my son, they are non-believers. They are non-believers. You see, I have my hat. You see what it says on the back. You see, I have my patriotic shirt, wearing red to support our troops on Friday. Hi, Robert. Good to see you. Been talking about you, buddy. All good. All good.
Yeah.
But, you know, these people that don't believe. Just the other day, I stopped in the post office and wanted to get Ron's mail. Hadn't picked it up for a while. I'm coming out, and my cousin, I told you this story Wednesday night, but his name is Danny Joe. We always called him Booney for Daniel Boone. That was a big show back when he was a kid. He's 4 years younger than me. Man, he told me that thing that grazed the 45-47s right under his ear, you know, it's a shame it wasn't over 2 inches and literally took his head off. And I'm thinking, how sick can a man be that he roots for the president of the United States to be assassinated? I got so mad at him. In 50 years, I probably never called him anything but Boone or Booney. I literally called him by his name. He looked at me and he says, I can't remember if you ever called me Danny before. I said, I can't believe you're so damn ignorant. To say I was mad was an understatement. I look at it this way. If you want to be stupid, if you want to think something like that, keep it to yourself. My mom had a saying. If you don't want to prove to somebody, now, Larry, you tell me if this is good, and Kevin and Robert, Janet, if you don't want someone to think you're stupid, keep your mouth shut. Don't say something and prove to them that they're right, that you are stupid. And that's just how I felt. I mean, me and this guy, he's a cousin. I mean, we've always got along great. He questioned my country. And then he tells me he's only voted one time in his whole life, and that was for the mayor of the town. He voted for his dad, which he should, who was the number one alcoholic, drunk in this town. And then he wants to sit there and tell me that me and Ron, that all of yous don't know what we're talking about. You know why he could tell me we didn't know what we're talking about? Because he listens to mainstream media news. Give me a bleeping break. What is Hamilton's radio? Someone's interested in it. They might not, Michael. Michael says the kid buying Spirit Airlines is a YouTuber and his dad are buying Spirit Airlines. I don't think they have any connection with the hat. I think anybody of any importance has connection with a hat. That's my feeling. And even if they don't, it's Spirit Airline. You think that if the hat comes out and says, well, whoever bought it, they shouldn't leave it at Spirit because that was a bad airline. They should call it Spirit of America. I'm just repeating what the gentleman said on this video last night. So what else do we have? Your blood is supposed to take 45 seconds to circulate your entire body. In most adults over 40, it takes over 3 minutes, and no doctor will ever test for it. Your heart pumps 2,000 gallons of blood per day. That blood is supposed to make a full loop, hearts, lungs, brains, organs, extremities, and back in 45 seconds. That is the design. That is how the body was built to function. But by the time you are 40, your capillaries, the smallest blood vessel in your bodies, have lost up to 40% of their DENSITY. The blood that once reached every cell now bypasses entire regions, your fingertips, your scalp, your retinas, your brain's deepest folds. A study published in the Journal of Psychology in 2018 found that sedentary adults over 40 had capillary transit times exceeding 3 minutes. That means your cells are waiting 4 times longer than they should for oxygen, nutrients, and waste removal. This is not aging. This is starvation at a cellular level. The pharmaceutical industry does not have a drug for CAPILLARY density, you cannot patent a blood vessel. So they never told you this was the problem. Instead, they give you the name for every symptom it creates. Brain fog, they call it normal aging. Cold hands and feet, they call it poor circulation. Hair thinning, they sell you minoxidil. Erectile dysfunction, they sell you, you know what? I'm not going to go into that. Slow wound healing, they call it diabetes. Memory loss, they call it early dementia. All of it, every single one is blood that cannot reach where it needs to go. In 2003, Dr. Rakesh Jain at Harvard Medical School published research showing that tumors grow specifically in areas of low capillary density, areas where immune cells cannot reach. The immune system doesn't fail, it simply cannot get there. The highway is gone. Cancer doesn't grow where blood flows freely, it grows in the dead zones, the zones that modern medicine pretends don't exist. The solution has been known since 1968. Dr. John Ott demonstrated that specific light frequencies between 600 and 900 nm stimulates anagenesis, the growth of the capillaries, red light, near infrared light, the same frequencies present in the sunrise and the sunset. The modem humans are no longer received because they live under fluorescent ceilings and behind UV blocking glasses. Your great-grandparents had full capillary density at 70 because they lived in sunlight. You are losing yours at 35 because you live in a building. 20 minutes of red light exposure per day, that is what it takes to rebuild a highway of your blood that your blood has lost. Not a drug, not a surgery, light at 660 nm. The 487 billion cardiovascular drug industry has no interest in you knowing that your blood vessels can regrow. Because a person with full circulation does not need their products. Your cells are not dying off disease, they are dying at distance. The blood cannot reach them. And no one told you this because the solution doesn't come in a bottle. This is from MedBed Technology News. So what I decided as I read this, guys, I'm going to make it a point that every day, I don't care how cold it is, I don't care what the weather is, I don't care at all. Every day I'm going outside, Sharetta and Robert and Linda, Patrick and Carrie and Tony, Janet and Larry and Kevin and Bill Woods and everyone that's here. I'm going outside starting tomorrow, 20 minutes a day. Not only am I doing that when the weather is nice, I'm going outside for 20 minutes a day and I'm going to walk in my grass. I'll walk where my dog don't go to the bathroom because I don't want to end up with brown feet. But I'm going to make sure that I walk in the grass and I go outside for 20 minutes a day. And I'm challenging everybody on the show to do the same thing. Restored Republic, the reading one. Summary, the report attributed to Judy Bidington's title, Restored Republic via the GCR update and dated May 8th, 2026, presents a highly detailed and speculative vision of the global financial overhaul. This report outlines a series of anticipated transformations which, according to the author, are on the cusp of completion. It is important to approach such narratives with an understanding of their theatrical and anticipatory nature within specific online discussions. At the heart of Bidington's discussions is a concept of global currency reset, GCR. This reset is described as involving a shift from traditional fiat currencies to gold asset-backed systems across 209 nations, including the U.S. mechanism for the transformation anticipated the quantum computer of a global financial system, purportedly operating on a new Starlink satellite system. The report suggests that this new system aims to replace previous financial structures, hinting at the significant global financial reshaping that aligns with efforts by the BRICS alliance to establish alternative economic framework. For individuals, the report paints a picture of direct engagement with the new system. Citizens worldwide are said to receive personal notifications via text and email containing unique codes. These codes would reportedly facilitate appointments at redemption centers where individuals could establish new wallet accounts on Starlink satellite system. Intriguingly, existing bank balances are reported already mirrored on these new wallets. The report further elaborates that these wallets would potentially include tariff dividends, reimbursements for improper loans, and interest paid on mortgages, credit cards, and even monies earned from use of birth certificates on stock markets. Timelines are also mentioned, with the general public wallet setup expected after July 4th, 2026, and those with foreign currency or bonds beginning appointments earlier, with the holders of the HAT gold products purposely already engaging in their appointments. Now, I'm going to say something. They're saying after July 4th, 2026. I don't believe that. I believe it's going to happen before, but this is me. I don't check things out the way Judy does. I don't have the abilities, but it's my gut feelings. DJT wants very, very bad for this year to be the biggest celebration in the history of the world. But he wants it all around the world. He wants everything to happen. Remember, guys, Sunday is Mother's Day. Make sure your loved ones, whether it's your daughter, your wife, or whatever, you have a nice Mother's Day. They should be honored. But also don't forget to take time for yourself, because you deserved to be honored too. The narrative then delves into a sequence of pivotal events said to be unfolding around early May 2026. A significant development cited is reported realignment of ISO monetary networks on May 7, 2026, transitioning from the SWIFT system to the quantum financial QFS, characterized by speed, security, and transparency. Crucially, the report states that NESARA activated on May 7, 2026, leading to the supposed dissolved of debt like mortgages and credit cards, the dismantling of the IRS, and the abolishment of income tax to be replaced by a 14% sales tax on luxury goods. Globally, GESARA is introduced, detailing broader scope of change, including the and resets, and the emergence of the rainbow currency backed by precious metals and emergency broadcast system activation on May 6, 2026 is also mentioned as a trigger of global notification regarding redemption center appointments. Further details from the report outline specific financial activity. Holders of foreign currencies and bonds are advised to utilize redemption centers over the traditional banks for better exchange rates, especially for currency like dinar and zim. Wells Fargo, reportedly controlled by the Chinese elders who are said to own the gold behind the global currency reset, is cited as an institution that would send out emails for those appointments. The document culminates the dramatic declaration of a black swan ignition on May 7, 2026, like to Protocol 19. The event is described as instantly flipping the financial system with a figure identified as the TRUMP reportedly taking full control and leading into phase 2 of a new global economy. The QFS is highlighted again as a new standard with asset-backed digital currencies replacing Bitcoin dominance and gold reinstating its role as an economic backbone alongside silver and platinum for rainbow currency. The expansive report from Judy Byington offers a compelling, albeit highly speculative vision of an intimate global financial and governmental transformation. It weaves together intricate details regarding currency, reset, debt forgiveness, and complete overhaul of financial infrastructures. As with such complex, forward-dated, shared within specific online communities, it is important for readers to approach this information with critical discernment and recognize its nature of theatrical projection. The report strongly encourages readiness and awareness for what is portrayed. The world was on the brink of profound change. My personal opinion, we are on the brink of change. My personal opinion is we are closer than we've ever been before. Jeffrey says, Happy Mother's Day out there to all moms out there. And I agree with Jeffrey. Happy Mother's Day to every mom, every grandma, every person, every woman out there. As I wrote my letter to Julia today, and we don't write on Saturday and Sunday, I did a little video. And I was able, they can't get the video and open it, so I took a picture of it. And for Julia's mom, I had a Happy Mother's Day picture for her. I was able to do a screenshot and send it to her. I did the same thing for her friend Masha, who has two children. And when I read her letter today, she said, my goodness, Ralph. She said, this is going to make my mom and Masha cry. But I forgot one thing. Julia is also the godmother of them two kids. So tonight, even though she won't get this until Monday, tonight I will do this video and the snapshot for her and send it to her. So it would have at least been there for Mother's Day. I don't care. My ex-wife to me means absolutely nothing. But I hope my kids that I raised, I hope they at least are there for their mother. I hope that they honor her and take care of her. She is married to another woman who literally lost her son. He committed suicide, and it's the hardest day of the year for her. We just got to all come together. Me and Ron, I will be going to White Castle sometime Sunday morning. I will get a Craver Saver pack of 30. I will bring out probably 3, maybe 4 White Castle Pee-wee burgers. I will set them on my mom's tombstone. It will piss my sister off. But that's something I've done for my mom because she loved White Castles. If we bought her a 30-pack, she knew exactly how many she ate. She knew exactly how much they had in there. And if it got down to the point there was only 3 or 4 left, I said, Mom, we get you some, but you only got 2 left. She said, no, I should have 3 or 4. She knew. She took inventory on her White Castle. They were hers. And if that's something she loves, I honor her. The same way for my dad on his birthday. The same way for my mom on her birthday. She gets White Castles. But you know what's funny? I'll put them 4 White Castles out there tomorrow or Sunday. Probably somewhere around 1:30 in the afternoon. The next day I'll go back there. Probably somewhere around the same time, 24 hours later. The cartons will be there, but the burgers will be gone. My sister said all the animals get them. Really? The animals pick the cartons up, eat the burgers, and put them back down. Exactly how I had them. My mom's getting her White Castles. My dad, I pour beer on his grave. I also douse his grave with a Pepsi on occasions too, because my dad loved Pepsi. And a quick story about Super Gymnast. She went to a ball game Tuesday night for Patriot 7, Little Liam. And at the ball game, she drank not one, not two, but 3 cans of pop. The Dr. Pepper. She loves Dr. Pepper. That was something her grandmother, my ex-wife, always loved. She drank 3 of them. At little Addison's birthday party the other night, my daughter said, I got to have a talk with your granddaughter. I said, oh, she's not your daughter? She said, no, I'm pretty pissed at her now. I said, what did she do? She drank 3 pops at the game last night. I said, oh, I don't believe that. I'm going to stick up for Ella every chance I get. She said, well, I'm going to have a talk with her. She got up, went and cut cake, and Ella, I said, come here, come here. Ella comes over to me. She said, what's up, Papa? And I said, your mom's mad at you because you drank 3 Dr. Peppers last night. She said, but I was so thirsty. I said, that doesn't matter. You can be thirsty and you can drink 3, but you can't let your mom see. Or you can't let the people who like to tattletale see, because there's tattletales everywhere in this world. I said, but I got an idea. And she said, what? I said, when she talks to you tonight, when you go home, look at her and just give her a hug. Give her your little cute smile and say, Mom, I made a mistake. I'm really, really sorry. I shouldn't have drank 3. And I'm really, really sorry. I just hope, Mom, that you're not mad enough that you can forgive me. And do it with that little smile, that little love that you can do. I looked at her last night at the game and I says, how'd things go with your mom? She says, just like taking candy from a baby. Okay, guys. I mean, I'll do anything for my grandkids. I'll do anything for you guys here. I hope you liked the show tonight. And I really did not get the way I did. So if kids do watch it with the discretion of the parents, grandparents, or legal guardians, or they want to listen to the music that we have no legal right to, it's okay, because I only said a couple. I never really said any factory words because, number one, I don't know a lot of them. Them women knew so much. What a time to be alive, Janet says. Janet has said 2 really great things tonight that I've noticed. Right off the bat, she said, let's get this party going. And now, what a time to be alive. And with that, let's get this party going. And what a time to be alive. Now, me and Ron's been discussing. And I discussed it with a lady on the phone the other day. I think next year when we have all of this going, I think all of us meet in Kentucky and go to the Kentucky Derby together. We said it the other night. But what we didn't say is we'll even buy all kind of hats. And we'll have hats there. So all the women that comes don't have to worry about hats. And for the men, maybe we'll buy hats that something says, isn't freedom sweet? Or maybe we'll even buy you a hat, I told you so. And you might get lucky and win a race, and then you can walk around and say, I told you so, I told you so. And all these people, because guys, if you lose a few bucks, it just doesn't matter. I think it's been a great week. I think it's going to be a great weekend next week. I think it's going to be go time. I really do. If something happens, if we get the 800 numbers, we'll be back this weekend. A lot of people say we might get them, but we won't be able to really book anything until Monday because they want us to celebrate and be there for the moms. So for all the ladies, happy Mother's Day. For all the men that had to be a mom and a dad, happy Mother's Day. And remember, we love you all. For Jimmy, his dad, his 2 sisters, and his grandpa, our prayers are with you. Good night. God bless. And we love you all. Thank you, Carrie, for saying good show. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tony. Means the world to me. Good night, everyone.